What's up everyone, welcome to another video. And today I am going to show you how to replace your indicator switch bulbs for your hazards, fog light, defroster switches on your Mitsubishi Montero. This will probably apply to Gen 2 to 2.5 Monteros from 92 to 2000. This might even apply to Gen 1s and maybe even Gen 3s, I'm not sure. But we're going to replace the little light bulbs that are in these switches. I mean, these are 20-year-old vehicles. The bulbs have probably burnt out. It's good to have these on at night, so if you need to use them, you can locate them. And plus, if you have an OCD like me, that just wants everything to work, it's good to have. But yeah, it's very easy thing to do. The bulbs are cheap and the switches are still good. It's just the bulbs are just bad. So yeah, we're gonna get on to it. Hopefully this video helps you out. So the switches that we're gonna replace the light bulbs on are typically these lights. They're on the Gen 2 and 2.5s. They're most common. You have your defroster right here, your hazard, and over here you don't see is your fog light switch if you have an SR or a winter package. And there's your cruise control. As you can see, these lights are not lighting up. They're not illuminated because the bulbs are out. Another light that doesn't come on, I'm pretty sure, is the rear diff lock switch here. It's not illuminated either, so there's supposed to be light in there and it's out too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace the bulbs in each of these switches. So when they're fixed, they all should be illuminated. And then we'll do a video, an after, once it's all done. So yeah, let's go ahead and replace these bulbs. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to remove these switches here on the Montero. Very easy. Get a Phillips head screwdriver. You're gonna have two Phillips screws here on each side, one on that side and one right there. Then you have another screw on top of the dash. I'm outside here. So you got to remove this cover, and then there's another Phillips, so we need to remove that. Now once you get all those 3 screws out, you just pull this all out, and then you have access to your switches. The fog light switch is a little bit harder, so what I did is I pressed this out so you can get more leverage, get the plug off. The other 3 plugs to the cruise, hazard, and defroster have a really easy push-in lock. This takes a little bit more effort, but once you get it out, you have better leverage to press down on this and remove the fog light switch. There we go. So some of you might ask, why don't I just pry these switches from out here? And the reason is because these locking tabs that lock it in place to the bezel, if you try to get it from the outside, you're gonna cause some damage to the bezel, because these are pretty stiff. They take a little bit of force to, you know, press to release the switch. I had to use a small flathead to put some force just to get it enough to, I guess, go in to slide out. So if you try to pry it from the outside, you're gonna cause some damage to your bezel, and then, you know, these are hard to find. I mean, Monteros aren't plentiful, so that's the reason why I loosened this whole bezel piece, and to get it from behind. And I highly recommend that you should do it too. But yeah, I got all the switches out. So the rear diff lock switch kind of has the same locking tabs as the switches that are on the dash bezel, but they're not as stiff. So what I did is unscrew this screw here, and then you can reach the switch from behind here, and you can feel the bezel switch, right? And then while I was pressing down with it, I was able to I got this pick right here to get underneath as I was pressing the locking tab from the inside. And then as you can see, the switch is loose, and there you go, the switch is, the lock switch is now loose, and now I can unplug it and then go from there. All right, the tools you're going to need to do this job is you're going to need some snip pliers, a couple picks, flathead, small flathead screwdriver. Flathead screwdriver, and a long nose pliers, preferably this style. These are the tools you're going to need to replace the bulbs on all these switches. So the bulbs you're going to need are the these bulbs right here, 811. They're called I guess rice grain bulbs. I got these from Amazon. If you have a local like hobby shop that carries like these type of bulbs, I got these through Amazon, and I will provide a link on the description of the Amazon link. But yeah, these are the bulbs you're gonna need for these switches right here, and they look like these, very small, very tiny. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start putting these bulbs on the switches, and we're gonna start with the fog light and hazard. All right, just take your switch here. This is the fog light. You're gonna have right here on the side, these are the locking tabs for the case. Get like your pick here, and just go right into that little space just to pry it open. You can do a pick or a flathead, small flathead screwdriver. I'll go ahead and do that. Just pry it enough. If you see it holding the gap, that's good. Move that up a little bit. Do the same on the other side. And it should come right out. And that's the bulb right here for the switch. So it's like a rubber sleeve, so you just pull it right out. There. There's the bulb. Then if you look in here, you can see where the wire is wrapped. So all you have to do is get the wire out. Just be gentle with it. So take these are the wire ends right here. So you just unget those. It's going to take some patience when you do this. Pull that out from the top. Pull the top, and then you go from the bottom again. Wire. There. Got the wire out. Then this bulb should just come right out. Get your needle nose and just gently pull the bulb out. There you go. Now be careful with this. Probably you're gonna have to, what I should have done is pull this back and take off this blue sleeve condom. But it looks like it's kind of fused to the bulb. I might just fortunately I have a spare one, but yeah, that's the old bulb there, and then we're gonna put a new one in. So here's the new bulb, here's the old one. There's the factory one looks a little thicker, but that's fine. It'll still fit in the this right here. So what we're going to do is we'll just reverse install it onto the sleeve. Well, here's that spare blue condom sleeve here, and then we'll put this back here. Obviously, you put those wires in the two holes. Boom, and then we run the wires like it was from factory. These are long, that's fine because we're gonna cut them. Comes out the other end. It's like you're sewing. Run through, and then this part here, you run it back, wire back to this hole right here so it comes out this end. There, it's popping on the other end right there. Just pull it. And then we just do the other side. So it's done. New bulbs in. And what you do, the excess, you just cut it Some snippers here. And then we just reinstall it back into the switch, which was right under here. And reinstall it. Fog light switch is done. Next is hazard switch. It's very similar to the fog light. So again, right here, a little space. Just get your little flathead. Gently pry till it's kind of lifted this part of the case. And then you do the same here. And then comes right out, goes right back there. There's the bulb socket for right out. And we do the same thing like we did with the fog light.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Make sure you install this correctly. If you see on this right here, there's a small and a larger hole. It corresponds to this. So you have to make sure it's installed correctly to it. So there you go. Hazard's done. Now we're gonna do the defrost. Okay, the defrost is gonna have two bulbs. One that illuminates the icon, and then one is when it's activated, it's the orange light indicator will come on. I know the orange light works, so we don't have to replace that. It's obviously the icon here for illumination, so you can locate the defroster switch when it's night. So that's the one we're gonna have. It's gonna probably have the blue color condom on it. So that's the one we're gonna replace. So same thing like the other switches. Lift up here to kind of get the locking tab loose. Once they're both lifted, then you can pull up on the switch to get it apart. Be gentle on it, right? So that's the indicator when the switch is on and off. That is fine, that's working. This is the one that lights up when you turn your driving lights on. So that's the one we're going to replace. You just pop it out, and then we just replace the bulb like we've done with the other switches. All right, what I noticed is I ran into this issue with, I believe, the fog light switch. This blue cover condom ripped. I encountered the same issue with the defroster switch, and I guess because of age, this has kind of melted or fused to the bulb. So even me being gentle removing it, it ripped it apart. So I don't have any spares. Just something to keep in mind that you might encounter, that these blue condom thingies might rip. I'm just gonna install the new bulb without the blue condom for now, because obviously I don't have any additional replacements. And as long as it's illuminated, that's what I really care about. I don't know if the color is gonna trigger my OCD, but at this point I just want the switches to illuminate. So that's just something you might encounter when you replace your bulbs. All right, the new bulb for the defroster button is in. Like I said, the blue condom is not on there, but it's fine. And we'll put the new bulb in the switch. Let's make sure it's secured. All right, I'm good to go. Just reinstall. All right, now to the cruise. All right, cruise switch. Like I said, it's going to be similar to the defroster. When it's on, the orange indicator light will be on, and then your illumination thing. So same exact, they're going to be almost identical. Unlike the other switches, it's not on the side, it's on the top right here. So you just pry it open. You can see it come loose, and then you just slowly pry it. All right, it's a little bit different from others, but it's kind of similar. You just pull this out, and then that is the cruise. It's going to be very similar to the others as far as how the wires are ran for the bulb. You just do the same thing. That. Right out. See if, yeah, this one is same thing. I can tell it's not coming out. New bulb. Boom, done. And we just put the switch back. These slots correspond to the location on the switch. So that goes there. Okay. Now the last switch is the rear differential lock. Tabs on these are right here on the sides. Okay, comes right out. There's the bulb. Very similar rubber socket as the cruise. Alright, that's done. Put that bulb back into the make sure you reinstall it correctly. Contacts are on the same side, so one side, so boom, we're done. Alright, so we got all the switches, all the new bulbs are in, so we're just gonna reinstall all the switches. We're gonna start off with the rear diff lock. Hazards on the bottom. Defroster. Cruise control sits here. Fog light switch. Alright, the fog light switch is plugged in. We need to get the cruise. Get the Alright, all the switches are in. Now just get this all back in place. So what's left is putting back all these screws to secure this bezel. Alright, it's nighttime, so I am going to show you the switches after the bulb's been replaced. And you see there's hazard, defroster, fog light, and cruise. This is all now illuminated. Before it wasn't. And then the rear diff lock is now illuminated too. There you go, guys. That's how to replace the bulbs on your switches inside your Montero. It's not a very hard job. It's very easy. As long as you have all the tools, take your time and just be careful with the plastic. These aren't brand new. You don't want to crack the housing and then ruin the switch. But I mean, it's very easy. It's not hard. You just have to take your time and be careful with taking these apart and that rubber socket that the bulb sits in. If I wasn't shooting the video, I could have probably done all 5 switches in 20 minutes. It's not that hard. I hope this video helps you out. It's just nice to have these bulbs all working like it was supposed to when this vehicle was somewhat new. Like I said, feel free to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to respond to you. But everything is on the link for the bulbs. And like I said, I hope this helps you out. Till again, be safe, drive safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.